Hey YouTube, this is just a short little video I want to do. It's actually about crosscut saws, and a friend of mine in Washington State, Cody from Wrangler Star, has been doing a series of videos about crosscut saws over there, and I thought I'd share a little bit of information about the one that I have. I initially picked it up from it came from the Ministry of Defence in England, and it was still wrapped in its greaseproof paper. It had never been used, and it was dated 1952 on the little label on it. In saying that, there's no markings on the saw I have here, apart from a VD on one end, and in the centre of it then there's a V. I don't know what these markings mean, maybe somebody can tell me. But I just thought I'd share with you the saw that I have. Cody himself would probably be interested in this. It's not the typical crosscut saw that you would see in the States, and you know, hopefully somebody can tell me a little bit more about these. From watching Cody's videos, I found out a little bit more information about these that I didn't know myself, and I know a couple of little small bits about them myself, and I'll share that with you now. So I'll just give you a quick look at the saw. So there we are. That's it there. It's a 5-foot crosscut saw, 60 inches. And from Cody's videos I have found out that it's actually a bucking saw, as you can tell from the kind of straight edge on it there, and the fact that it has two holes here where the handle's attached to allow for a bit of adjustment to get greater leverage. The one thing I do know about these saws is that there's a few different teeth patterns, and on these ones here you can see the teeth that are on it, and these are what's known as a Great American Tooth pattern, and you can see they're in series of trees working on down the line with a gentle curve on it there, a gentle radius. There is a bit of a radius on the back side of it, as you can see, but it's not as pronounced as some of the felling saws that Cody was talking about. And the tooth pattern on most of the saws I've seen from America seem to be lance tooth, and that's where you have more pronounced a series of teeth that come up 1, 2, 3 separated, and then a bigger tooth, or what they call a perforated lance tooth, which is the same pattern really, but they also have a little spine then attaching some of the teeth themselves. There's a small bit of pitting on this. As I say, this saw is 61 years old and it's never been used. As I said, when I got it a few years back, it came from the Ministry of Defence in the UK, and it was still in its original greaseproof paper, wax paper, whatever you want to call it. The wax had dried out, and as a result you can see there is some slight pitting. It looks worse than it is. You run your finger across this, you can hardly feel it. I suppose it's the start of it, and with a little bit of work I'd probably get that out. I haven't really used it. I've had it up on the wall, and it's been hanging there ever since I put it up really, but you can see that there's absolutely no damage to any of the teeth, so it is, for all intents and purposes, a new saw. I'm quite good at finding these old saws that have never been used, as Cody can attest to with the golden guinea that I sent him over. But that's basically it. Any comments on this would be greatly appreciated, any information, and it's nice to have a backup there in case things ever did go wrong. You know, if ever you had power or there was a petrol gas shortage, you wouldn't be able to use them boys. You'd have to revert back to the old muscle power. So that's it. Any comments and feedback? Oh yeah, one last thing I forgot to say. If for some strange reason you haven't heard of Wrangler Star or Cody from Wrangler Star, the Wrangler Star channel, you should definitely go over there and have a look. If you're watching this video at all, he's definitely the one to look at. You'll find lots of interesting stuff, and I'll put the link down here to Cody's channel. Thanks.